Hello, it's Mr. Smith here, and we're going to look at another lesson about this little game. So, last week we started to move this green object, which is called a paddle, and we have to try and hit the orange ball. Now, also on the grid, I didn't tell you this last week, but there's this red line, and then if you miss it, the game will stop. So I'm just going to go over that coding so you watch the game will stop. So if we just go and have a look at the coding, and I'm just going to make the picture a bit smaller so you can see the coding. So it says repeat until it touches anything red. So this loop, it's called a loop, that big loop there, anything within that loop is going to repeat until we touch red. So that's where you lose the game. And everything within that loop is to make the ball bounce and make it do certain things. So in this case, the top bit here, if on edge bounce, and then if touching the paddle, it actually turns round so it looks as if it's bouncing. So if we just look at that again, you can see that when it touches the red, it'll stop. Now notice if we have a different grid, there's no red on that grid. So even if you miss the paddle, the ball's going to carry on bouncing. But that makes it less of a good game. So what we're going to do now is have a little look at this score. Now some of you might have worked this out already because I left the actual bits of code on the page for you. So let's just stop our game. So have a think about where we could put that. Set score to 0. Notice at the beginning the score on this one is 2, so that's obviously not right. So it can't be 2 at the beginning. So it doesn't matter where you put it as long as it's there, there, or there. Okay? Because we're setting the score to 0 before we're doing any repeats. And then this one, think about where this has got to go. Now you could try this. So this would give it a score if it touched the edge, but we don't want it to get a point if it touches the edge. We want it to get a point if it touches the paddle. So it goes there. So let's just test this. So it starts at 0, and then we'll just let it bounce. So none is added to the score, and then next time we will just let it touch the paddle. And you can see it goes up 1. Now, we could also change the speed of the ball. So this is where we would change the speed. So if I want to double the speed, we put 6 instead of 3 there. And again, that's got to be the same number, 6. So now you can see the ball's going twice as fast. The score bit was within variables, so I went to make a new variable and I just typed score in. Now it won't let me do score again, so I'll have to call it score 2. And we want it just for the paddle, so just do that again. There we go, and you can see it up the top there. Now I haven't coded score 2, so it's not going to actually do anything. And in fact, I want to delete it. So I'm just going to take that tick off and it'll take it off the screen. If I rest my finger on it, I can actually delete that. It's called a variable because the number changes all the time. Now I'm going to just sign in and save that for you. So have fun, and I'm really interested in some of your creative ideas. You could change the way the ball looks or the way the paddle looks. Have fun.